Hello, good morning. This is 𝗟𝗧𝗧 from MassMailer. Thank you so much for joining the webinar today. Today I'm going to talk about a very important aspect of email marketing, how to stay away from spam folders when you're sending out your email campaigns with the help of advanced deliverability analysis that you want to do prior to sending out any email campaign. What does it really mean when it comes to the email deliverability analysis? You want to make sure that email would deliver to inbox. And there are various aspects that you really have to analyze before sending out an email. First of all, the content itself, what you're sending should be relevant, and it should be not spammy, and it should have good layout. And the links that you're having also should be obviously should not be broken. And the layout should really render nicely on various devices, so on and so forth. And also, you want to make sure that other infrastructure issues are not there. So how do you do that? You really need a tool that can really help you to get this kind of analysis report before you actually send out your email campaign. And how would it really help you? It basically would help you in higher engagement from your recipients. So basically, you're boosting your opens and clicks and responses and whatnot. And also, why are these tools very important? Well, we are spending a lot of time with the strategy and planning and everything. Ultimately, you really want to get results, and there is no manual way you can really analyze your infrastructure, the content. So you really need intelligent tool that can really help you out. So you basically want to spend less time in identifying any issues with the overall deliverability issues and fixing them. And ultimately, you're a business person. Your focus is to drive revenue for your company, and you don't want to spend time, spinning your head for all these technical issues. While you may have IT team at the same time, they also, are having tight deadlines and whatnot. You hand over a tool to them, and they can help you analyze your email and infrastructure and give you a report. Or as a business user, you can also do it on your own, and you can always take your help from IT if at all you find any red flags. And overall, the tools that you want to use would give you typically a 360-degree view of the overall sender reputation and how well your email is actually going to perform. So you get a lot of benefit just by spending a few minutes of your time before you actually send out your email campaign. It's worth it. And ultimately, you focus on the business and the operations and revenue and metrics and all of that, and let these tools actually take over all the headaches and the nitty-gritty and give you a nice little report that you can actually share it with your team or management and get their nod really to go out with your campaign. And I'm going to talk about a tool that we provide. It's called MassMailer Email Monitor. Basically, what it does, very simple to use. Basically, you would bring out your email, the email the template, and click on a button and request for a report. You have to fill in certain details. I'm actually going to show you, and it would just analyze the email content and the infrastructure, and then give you a report back to you with nice metrics. And how do you really use this, or how do you actually trigger this report generation? Again, the MassMailer app would give you options to invoke or trigger this right within Salesforce. There are 3 ways you can do it. One is called the actual email template builder, where you can actually select your email template and then get a report. Or when you're actually sending out your email campaign, even though we do not recommend this, that's basically right before sending out a campaign. If you want to get a report, that's fine too, but you still have to wait till you get a report, which may take 5 minutes or so. Or there's a tab called Email Monitor, in which you can actually invoke this, the deliverability report as well. That's another place. And what does it really consist? So it'll give you the overall deliverability score, and it'll give you a very high level analysis of your content, whether your content is spammy, meaning is it structured nicely or not? Are there any words that you should not be using, which may get caught into the spam filter software? It's going to give you that report. Also, it's going to analyze your email infrastructure and would identify if at all there's any problem with your IP address in the domain, if those are clean or not. And also would give you a feedback on your email template layout itself, whether your email is going to render nicely on all the email clients or not. Basically, whether the graphics are going to render nicely, or maybe the font that you're using, would that render nicely or not? And also the overall structure. Sometimes you may have too many graphics, and maybe the image colors are not good or whatnot, right? So those are all the issues that you can find using this the email preview feature. And also, if you're having any third-party links or links to your own domain, you want to make sure that there's there are no harmful cookies on those website that's going to be harming your deliverability. And it's going to give you a little compliance report as well about the same thing. And this just to show you how you can actually invoke. As I said, there's a tab called MassMailer Template Builder. You could actually load up your template, and you can get your report. And I'm going to show you like live demo as well. And there's another tab called Email Monitor, again, through which you can actually just go select your template and fill in some information, and then you can get the report. Or when you actually send out a campaign, we call that as MassMailer Outreach Wizard. So the final step, you can actually get this report as well. So 3 places you can actually get this report. So I'm actually, this is the example report. As you can see, it shows you the overall deliverability score and some aspects of you about your content and the infrastructure, as you can see, and the compliance and the previews. And I'll go through one of the sample reports here, but this is how it actually looks when you're sending out any email. This is the overall deliverability score. But again, this is prior to your campaign, which means it's not really sending an email to your recipients, but it's just going to give you kind of an estimated score. That's not the actual score, though. There are many other factors that you have to consider. The cleanliness or hygiene of your list, very important as well, and the timing as well, and many other aspects. But this kind of gives you at least a high-level deliverability score based on the content and your infrastructure and the layout, all of those things. And this is an example or a sample link, which is pretty much generated the moment you actually try to invoke that report. And you can store this, the link, and then try to get it back whenever you need. But typically, you don't need it after you run the campaign, but it's there in the email if you ever needed this report back to you. Let's take a quick look at MassMailer tool that you could actually use. So I'm actually going to go through the template builder. This kind of makes it easy maybe. Let's say you have a template And MassMailer being a native Salesforce email tool, you could actually bring up your tool from here. So you would select your folder where you have created the template um, and run this report. So I'm actually going to go ahead and select. So for an example, the same email you must have received from me. So how to stay out of spam folder. So I'm going to actually look at this report. So this is the email template. I would go ahead and save this. A few things that you have to do here. So make sure that you have this final content ready and save this. And then there is a button called Test Email Deliverability. All you have to do is click on this. And then you can receive this report to multiple email addresses by having comma separated things. And I'm actually going to go ahead and enter the sample email address that I actually going to be using in my real campaign. And I'll just pick what industry we belong to. Let's say I'm sending it to the 10,000 people. And where am I sending it? Let's say United States of America. I would just select that country, or you can also select worldwide or specific region as well. Those options are available. And what language is this? And then what IP pool I'm actually going to use based on the sender domain. So you can have multiple IP pools based on the sender domains. And then all I would do is just test deliverability. So you're just selecting a few options. You're basically telling the backend engine that, hey, this is my campaign. I'm going to use so and so domain as a sender, and I would be sending it to approximately these many recipients, and this is my industry, and I'm targeting a certain region or country or worldwide. You fill up that information, what language it is. So these are all kind of input parameters that you have to feed into the backend engine that's actually going to analyze your template. It's actually going to give you a report. It may take a few minutes to actually get this report, and you will receive an email as well with a link to that report, and that's always available from the link. Right now, I'm actually going to go ahead and show you a sample report that I actually executed on a different template, I believe. So this is kind of an example where it shows that this is 80.93 deliverable, and there are certain issues when it comes to the actual content itself, and it'll give you feedback, what is good or what is bad in that content. And obviously, you don't want to use any all caps. That's very, very important as well. And it's going to give you any issues with your layout. If you're having any issues with the layout, it's going to give you that error as well, and the quality of overall links. And then you can analyze the infrastructure as well. And again, it's going to give you feedback if at all your IP is having any issues. In the scenario, the IP seems it's in a good condition. And SPF, again, this is related to your email infrastructure. So it's looking at it and seems like it's all in good condition. And DKIM, again, this is related to your email infrastructure. And DMARC, there's a red flag there. It says that there's some problem with your authentication. Whatever it may be, it is actually giving you that feedback. So basically, you'll have to take it to your IT team. If you're in business, then you have to bring in your IT team, or you can also contact MassMailer if you are not aware. We can also support you with this. So basically, you get this feedback about your infrastructure, and also compliance, if at all there are any problems with the cookies for the domains that you're referring. It's going to give you some feedback as well. And if you're referring to some social domains, that should be okay because you don't have control on those social domains anyways. And then preview how your email actually going to render on various devices. This is going to give you feedback as well on that. And you will have to request here by clicking on this, so that it can actually give you a final report on how this is going to render on Gmail versus Yahoo versus Apple versus Microsoft Outlook and iPhone and all of that. And you can click open that particular um, like the actual preview and see if, an example, this is giving you like a dark mode option, as you can see. So this will help you how your graphics are actually going to render. So that's kind of a nice tool to have. I'm just checking if I have anything here ready-made. Okay, for an example, this one I have this one, how it actually renders on say Gmail, and it'll show you, hey, this is how it's going to look. And you can also see how this is going to render on iPhone, and this is how it renders on iPhone. And if you think, hey, I don't want the graphics to show like this, or I don't want these things to appear like that, you can always change those graphics, how they appear, um, you know, and sometimes too many graphics on phones is not good. So you can think of turning off certain images. The MassMailer template builder would help you to actually turn on, turn off certain images as well. And same thing, how does this really render in Microsoft Outlook? You can actually see and make any changes if needed. So you can also, request for dark mode, and they'll give you a report as well. And again, so this is an Apple, and there are many devices that we support. Those are desktop client or maybe web client or some mobile client as well. And you can request them iPad Air or Android phones, or so on and so forth. You can basically request, and it's covering pretty much the most popular web client or desktop client or mobile client. That would give you an idea at least how this can render. So this is very, very important, crucial, especially when you're running out very high impact campaigns, and you want to make sure that there are no issues with your content and infrastructure and all of that. That's a kind of a report that you can expect. Again, MassMailer is a tool that sits right within Salesforce. As you can see, if you're familiar with Salesforce, it's an app exchange app. So this is one of the features that we provide as part of our deliverability tools. And the analysis that I just submitted has come back, as you can see. So it's having some issues with the content. And it's actually just saying, hey, these are red color words are basically the issues. That's it's saying, hey, don't use advanced, use a different recommended word, right? You could think of changing them. And also any problems with the coding layout, it's going to give you, and the links and all of that, and what kind of infrastructure you have. Based on that, it may give you, again, some feedback there. And how it actually renders on various devices. You'll have to request them, and you would receive the feedback as well, right? So that's pretty much it. And again, there are multiple ways to get this. I just want to touch base on this basic, like the feature from Template Builder. And we have other deliverability tools as well, such as Email Verifier. Happy to talk about it in the next webinar, one of the webinars maybe in the future. And you can see that MassMailer is not only email sending tool, it can also help you to analyze your content in the infrastructure and give you the deliverability feedback and the metrics. And I plan to do another webinar. We'll talk about various Salesforce limitations and how it can impact your business and what you could really do. And I would touch base on some of the limits, just highlighting them. If you're experiencing some of these limits, perhaps you can think of getting onto MassMailer kind of a tool. And I'll also go through a quick demo of MassMailer. And this webinar is scheduled on 20th, 9 a.m. Pacific. So you would receive an email shortly with a link to this webinar, as well as a registration link for the next webinar as well. Once again, thank you so much. Just want to quickly talk about MassMailer. MassMailer is a native email tool for Salesforce CRM customers. You can send single email or a mass email with or without file attachment to any Salesforce object. And if you have any questions or anything you would like to discuss, here is my contact information and our company contact information. Feel free to contact me anytime. And if you're new to MassMailer, feel free to just go get on a trial. And here is a link, massmailer.io. You can find the install link. And if you want to schedule a live demo, I'm happy to do that as well. Once again, thank you so much for joining the webinar today. Would love to catch up with you again next week. Take care. Have a good day. Thank you.